Today, we become legends.
Hey, my name's Inter, and welcome back to the channel for a very quick update video on what was just discussed on the Titan Talk. So they basically revealed all of the first 50 gods, the rest of them that are coming behind this little black box that I've got here, as well as a little bit of other information about what's going to be happening going into January, the Vegas land, all that kind of stuff. So let's just jump right in if you haven't seen all of this information. So obviously, Nemesis, Izanami, and Khepri are coming on November 12th. We knew that already from previous Titan Talks. We've already seen them in game pretty much. They're going to be coming very soon. Our next group of gods 2 weeks after that is going to be on November 26th, and that is going to be Thor, Poseidon, and Cupid, which I think is going to be a really exciting patch. Thor and Poseidon are two that really should have been in the game a long time ago. It's exciting to see them. Cupid, I don't really care for too much, but I think he is relatively popular. So yeah, November 26th is going to be a very exciting patch, especially for me. Thor's my most played character pretty much in Smite 1. And I do have a ton of fun on Poseidon as well. There's probably some shenanigans you can do with like strength crit builds on him in Smite 2. It's going to be a lot of fun. And even Cupid, he was a mage in Smite 1 at one point for like 2 patches and then they reverted it. So maybe he'll have a little bit of intelligence scaling. He is very ability reliant, so we'll have to see on that. The next group of 3 gods coming 2 weeks after that is going to be December 10th, and that is going to be Aphrodite, Pele, and Medusa, which is probably another highly anticipated patch by the community. Aphrodite, I've said it is important to get in at this point. I don't like the god, but a lot of people do. She's insanely popular. She's a main healer, which they do need to get into the game, get the sort of tech and the items and stuff for healers to work properly. And I think Aphro's probably one of the better ones they could add. They've got Umoja already, but Aphrodite is much more of a main like healer mage style than her. Pele, super exciting. Very excited to play Pele when she drops, one of my favorite junglers. And then Medusa, one of the most popular hunters in the game, been incredibly popular in Smite 1, sort of like in year 11 when she kind of became a little bit broken. But yeah, that should be pretty exciting as well. And then after December 10th, they're basically going to have sort of a blackout period that's going to run through to January 4th, I believe. So there's going to be no patches. They're probably still going to be working on stuff during this time, but there's going to be no patches between December 10th and January 4th. And that is, of course, you know, over the holidays and stuff like that. They said specifically on the Titan Talk that Sony and Microsoft have complete blackout periods over the holidays, and so they can't deploy patches safely because no one at Microsoft or Sony is there to like actually you know, verify the patches and stuff like that. So yeah, after December 10th, once Aphrodite, Medusa, and Pele come into the game, there's going to be no new patches until sort of like early January. But then in early January, we have the January Wave 1 gods, which they said on the Titan Talk are basically all but confirmed. There's a 99% chance that all 5 of these gods will be in the game. The January Wave 2 gods, which we'll get into in a second, are pretty likely to come, but some delays could be caused and stuff like that. So yeah, the January Wave 1 gods are going to be Geb, Mulan, Agni, Ula, and an all-new Smite 2 god, which I can't talk about, but you probably know who it is if you read data mining. So yeah, you probably all know what this god is going to be. It's going to be really exciting. Ula's going to be cool. One of the first stand switches in the game. A very high skill cap god, a very unique ability-based hunter. Agni, just a fundamentally great mid laner. Reasonably high skill ceiling, a very low skill floor. Has mobility, which is important for the current mid lane mage offering that basically none of them have mobility. Mulan, an insanely popular warrior. She could have some really cool changes coming into Smite 2, in my opinion, with the whole like ability leveling system. She's going to have the mask as her default model now, which is really cool. And then we're getting Geb as well, which again, a really popular character, a good like defensive peel backline kind of support. He can play frontline, blink in on people, one-shot them and stuff like that, but with Geb and Khepri in the game, it's kind of, you're going to fix a little bit of that, like no real backline supports exist, and with these two, that should be good. And finally, we have the January Wave 2 gods, which are likely to come in sort of the second half of January, and that is going to be Rama, Hunbat, Achilles, Kabrakan, and Vulcan. So Rama, I can't believe he's not in the game already, to be honest. I can't believe we got Jingwei and Cernunnos and even Anher, to be honest, before we got Rama. Such a fundamental hunter that's really hyped to watch. Hunbat's a true OG, one of the most iconic ultimates in the game. Achilles, super fun solo laner, can flex into multiple roles as well, has occasionally played support, but definitely a viable solo and jungle. Kabrakan, another very flexible god, can play arguably 4 roles. He can definitely play solo, jungle, and support, but he can arguably play mid as well. We've seen that a little bit from like Pagon and stuff in the SPL. And then Vulcan can be a little bit annoying to play against, but I do think he's a pretty cool design. Introducing the turrets as well will be quite cool. So that's going to be the January Wave 2 gods, which are basically confirmed. They're very likely to come, but they did say on the Titan Talk that some delays could be caused, and they may either be switched out or delayed a little bit into like February. But yeah, there you go. That is all the gods that are going to be coming up until basically the end of January, when we're going to be having like the Vegas land and a really big patch and stuff like that. So if that's what you came for, that's what these gods are going to be. I've got a little bit more information though on what's going to be kind of happening going into January. So we talked about the blackout period. That is December 21st to January 4th, but basically they won't be deploying a patch in that time anyway. It's only 11 days after the previous patch before December 21st. So yeah, there's going to be no patches until at least January 4th. We'll probably start getting some of these January Wave 1 gods into the game. On December 15th, though, in this sort of like blackout period, there's going to be a patch that is going to be what the Vegas LAN is played on, and that is going to be given to pro players. We'll probably see what's in the patch as well. They'll probably discuss it on like a patch note show, but we won't be able to play that until the Vegas LAN in January. But yeah, on December 15th, that is going to be shown to the pro players, and they're going to be able to play on it. They're going to be able to scrim on it and stuff like that, so that they've got a stable patch that Vegas LAN can be played on, and they've got, you know, at least like a month or so to be able to play on that patch, kind of figure out what's good and make the tournament as good as it can be. And there's likely going to be some bigger changes than just gods coming in this patch. You know, at that point, we're getting pretty close to being able to complete the first 50 gods, and they do have some other changes planned for, you know, conquest, items, all that kind of stuff. Joust and Assault, I believe, are still targeted probably for this patch. They said they're still targeted for January, but likely that will be in this patch, because this patch, they're being shown to pro players on December 15th, but it's going to be available to us in January before the Vegas LAN. And they've also said that harder gods and more all-new gods will be coming next, as well as other game aspects, you know, like items and stuff like that. So likely the pace of adding gods will slow down after this, which I think everyone expected. You know, adding 3 gods every 2 weeks is kind of insane, and they did need to do this. The god variety was extremely lacking in the game. But I think once we get to 50, you know, they're going to slow this down. They're going to focus on some other aspects of the game that definitely need some love, like game modes, items, conquest changes, systems, and like home pages and stores and skins and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff will ramp up, and gods will ramp down a little bit after this January push. But yeah, there you go. That is the full first 50 Smite 2 gods roadmap that they revealed. Probably about, what, 16 gods revealed here that we're going to be getting in sort of the next couple of months, which is really exciting. And an all-new Smite 2 god, which again, I can't talk about, but you almost certainly know what it is if you follow any data mining or any like Smite discords or anything like that. It's kind of all out there. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed me keeping you posted on this in a timely fashion, and I will catch you guys for another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.